The Warriors. What is up, Black Rue Crew? Before we get started here, let's cue my guy, Indigo Saint. Oh, hold on a second. I guess I'm on the wrong thing. Delayed cue. Delayed cue. There we go. Let's get it. Indigo Saint in the building. Black Rue Investing. Let's go.
Who's this producer? Best believe I was black or invested. With your money, you ain't gotta be guessing. Profits is what we manifested. So we binge on a black or invested. Best believe I was black or invested. Got course in this race, we ain't resting. We got stocks, we got crypto with a blessing. So thank God for that black or invested. Best believe I was black or invested.
What's going on, guys? You should hear me better now. I'm coming through the microphone now. Awesome. Let's share the screen here. Russian ruble crashes. What does this mean for crypto? Okay. I kind of figured something was going to happen on the anniversary of Nixon removing the U.S. from the gold standard. And what happened was the Russian ruble crashed. And that happened yesterday. Okay. You've been talking. Keep your eyes out for the 15th. Keep your eyes open for the 15th. And that's what happened. Okay. So we're going to get into that a little bit. But before we get into that, be sure to sign up for the Black Rue Investing Telegram group. Completely free. Why take on the crypto world by yourself when you can do it together with a community completely for free? We share information on here. You can come on here and ask questions. Many people do. Very, very nice. Very, very nice community. Another community we're building up is the crypto and conspiracy community. I also have a chat for different conspiracy things. And if you're a person who wants to talk about things like that, you don't have a group where you can talk those things, everybody looks at you like you're crazy. You want to kind of come get your tinfoil hat on, we got that group over here too. So yeah, be sure to join those groups. I do not have a link to the crypto and conspiracy group in the description, but if you go ahead and join the crypto group, I can give you a link to the crypto and conspiracy group if that's what you want to do. Yep. So, and if you want to take a step up from there, we have the Patreon. Shout out to the patrons. Less than a cup of coffee for a weekly watch list that is also available. So before we get into the Russian ruble thing, I want to take a look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin's taking a step back, which is expected. Here we go with the moon, listing the moon phases all the time when we have that new moon, which is actually today. We have that little Bitcoin pullback. It just happens to be that way. Always happens that new moons just have it. Bitcoin pulls back on new moons. It's just what happens. Okay. You can see it here. You can see it here. You can see it here. See it here. You can see it here. So what happens, dog? So really just knowing that if you're looking for a day that you want to kind of buy crypto, or it might be a good day to buy crypto, probably you want to look at new moon phases. That would probably be a day if you want to, make some purchases that the market will probably pull back. New moon days are probably those days. Okay. So new moon tonight, August 16th, and we're dropping right in line with that, right? So just a little tip there, not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor, nor do I want to be, but just a small tip there for you if you're looking to make a little buy there. So let's see what we got in chat over here. Elright Senior, what is up? What's going on? What's up, Rob B? Oh, good one, Rob B. We'll get into that too. We'll get into that. Settle oil sale. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Heavy Productions, what is up? Yeah, straight blood in the streets, bro. Straight blood in the streets. What is up, Cryptwork? What is up, Jackson Knox? Stacking Satoshis, Ron B, Stephen Wisdom, and Elright Senior. Did I say crash? Yes, the Russian ruble crashes. Stephen Wisdom. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but we're going to talk about the Russian ruble, okay? And we're going to listen to a couple different casts here. What's up, HBCU Maker? Oh, a lot of stuff here. Yeah, we're going to get into all of that. And as always, guys, if you got any questions, save them for the end. But I'm going to listen to a couple different YouTubes here, okay? We're going to listen to, let's see here. CNN one we will do last. This one we will do.
Russia's
we'll probably do this one first. And this guy we're going to do last. No, okay, that guy will be second. Black first. Hold on. And this guy. So let me kill my own stream. Thank God that didn't echo. X. Okay, so great. So let's start with this guy here.
Economy is on the brink of disaster.
So can you guys hear it? Let me know if you guys can hear it.
Central bank currently scrambling to avoid that disaster as its currency is valued.
Okay, now let me go back out here just to verify that you guys can hear it. Were you guys able to hear that? Okay, perfect. Okay, let me full screen it. And here.
Economy is on the brink of disaster, with their central bank currently scrambling to avoid that disaster as its currency's value continues to crash, with their ruble yesterday briefly breaking 100 to the US dollar, marking its worst performance since the war in Ukraine began, which at that time it had crashed briefly before skyrocketing again on the back of oil and gas sales despite massive sanctions. However, over the past few months, its value has been steadily dropping by over 25% due to fuel prices slumping and restrictions on sending money abroad loosening, which has led to people dumping their rubles when they can. And so when you add all those things together, it means that the ruble is at serious risk of really bad inflation. And for the central bank, that 100 to the $1 mark seems to have been a red line as it quickly moved to try and correct the problem, spiking interest rates from 8.5% to 12.5%, which, I mean, that...
So that's one thing to note. The Russian central bank, and who controls their central bank? The same people that control our central bank, which are the same people that control China's central bank, which are the same people who control Britain's central bank. You see what I'm saying? But okay, so central bank jacks up interest.
That alone would be a dramatic change. But what's even crazier is that 8.5% rate was set just last month, with that helping increase the currency's value against the dollar, and the central bank has said that they're ready to push another hike if needed. But also what's especially interesting with the situation is it's one of the few times that we've actually seen open criticism between branches of their government. For example, in an op-ed, Putin's economic advisor blamed the central bank for the situation, saying the source of the weakening of the ruble and the acceleration of inflation is soft monetary policy. Now, with all that said, does this mean that Russia's on the verge of collapse? Probably not, with Russian officials still thinking that the country will run a budget surplus in the third quarter and meet its 2% GDP growth target. However, it's important to remember that most of that is still being propped up by dwindling oil and gas prices. But for everyday Russians, this is having an effect of making everything more expensive. I mean, your money devaluing 25% across just a few months, that's tough. But as far as what this means for the long term in Russia, we're gonna have to wait to see because there are a number of variables at play.
Okay, so something to note from the things that he said. The central bank here, he says, it's not going to topple their economy, but day to day Russians are feeling it. Okay, so we're going to take a listen to one other one here. thought I had it pulled up. Here we go. And fair use for these, by the way. Anybody who says anything about that here?
Now, after the ruble dropped to levels not seen before the war in Ukraine, Russia is considering reinstating capital restrictions. A Bloomberg report quoting 4 sources.
She's cute. Hold on. Oh, come on.
Showed that a proposal to mandate sales of export revenues was discussed during a meeting between the government and exporters on Monday before the Bank of Russia announced an emergency rate hike. 2 of those Bloomberg sources said no progress was made. Another meeting may be scheduled for later this week. Now, since the outbreak of the war last year, the ruble's decline was slowed by forced sales of export income and other measures, including prohibitions on bank transfers of foreign money. On Tuesday, after the ruble momentarily dipped below 100 per dollar for the first time since March last year, the Bank of Russia raised its benchmark rate to 12% from 8.5%. Despite briefly rising following the rate decision, the ruble has lost approximately 25% of its value against the dollar so far this year, placing it in the bottom 3 of emerging economies. As the ruble saw one of the worst depreciations in emerging markets, Russia's central bank indicated that another rate hike is probable. Sofia Donitz, an economist at Renaissance Capital, estimates that it may take several months for the ruble to rise without further measures like central bank interventions or compelled sales of export income. Russian policymakers will be hesitant to step into the currency market with direct interventions since a large portion of the central bank's reserves have been frozen as a result of the sanctions, of course.
Okay. So from there we get, central bank is willing to do more there. Okay. They're willing to do more there. What's up, Luke? What's up? Shout out to Luke, my former co-host over there at Benzinga. Shout out to the guys at Benzinga. What's up, Nerd Up Inc. Marv? What's up, D Tizzy 720? What is up, Jay? All right, so we're gonna look at one more. So I wanted to get kind of a swath of different things here. Let's look at the CNN one first. We might not watch the whole CNN one, or we might watch it at. Nice to see you too, bro. Nice to see you too, bro. Well, nice to hear from you. I can't see you, but I think you know what I mean. Here we're gonna play this one from CNN, and then we're gonna play one more, and then we're gonna talk about it. Okay.
Has lost nearly 40% of its value so far, an entire Russian ruble. Russia's currently hitting a 17-month low against the U.S. dollar.
Wait, I started at the wrong place here because okay, there we go.
A blow to Putin. 1 penny is all it takes to buy an entire Russian ruble. Russia's currency hitting a 17-month low against the U.S. dollar. In fact, the ruble has lost nearly 40% of its value so far this year. And in Russia, people are taking notice of this milestone. Just look at this news ticker. This is from Surgut. It's a Siberian oil town. I noticed this. Max Sedin of the Financial Times, a friend of the show, flagged it online. We verified it, geolocated it. Someone put in text that reads, quote, 100 rubles to a dollar. Lost your effing mind? Putin is an expletive and a thief. Up front now, the U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. And Secretary, I appreciate your time. And I wanted to ask you about the ruble in just a moment. I wanted to begin, though, of course, with the U.S. economy, where you're marking the 1-year anniversary of President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. It does come, though, as gas prices once again are soaring. The average price of a gallon of regular hit $3.85. It is its highest level in nearly 10 months, up 28 cents from just 1 month ago. How worried are you?
This one actually isn't as helpful. So now, one I want to watch is from someone boots on the ground, an actual Russian person in Russia, okay, saying his experience of what's happening right now, okay? So this one's better.
It's a historical day because today $1 US became 100 rubles, and in my life, in history, it is the first time then it's happened. And what it means? It means that if you have dollars or just $1, you are like a king here. And now I'm going to show you what can you get in Russia for $1. Remember that $1 right now, it's a 100 rubles. So
now he's going to go over some things that you can buy. If you guys want this full video, just come into the Telegram and I'll give it to you. But what's really going to be important is what he kind of says here at the end.
Okie dokie, guys, friends, adorables. I hope you enjoy this video. What does it mean for people? $1, 100 rubles. It means that Russian rubles became like a paper, and people go to be very poor. Prices are going high, and the ruble, we call it the ruble break a hole. But this universe have another side, it have bright side, and we live for that this beautiful for this beautiful princess. We wish all parents strong health.
So very cool, but not very cool. This boots on the ground, an actual Russian person saying, okay, the ruble doing this is going to make people very poor, and people are, it's going to make them very poor. What I think the effect is going to be here for crypto here, okay? The effect for crypto is going to be actually a plus, I think, in the end. So basically, and Jackson Knox, you're alluding to it here, right? Everywhere, not just America, is experiencing this inflation, right? So it's a worldwide problem. And to me, how I have my tinfoil hat on, right? To me, it's intentional, right? It's intentional to me, okay? Money is now worth less or worthless, okay? And we're moving into a great reset of monies into cryptocurrency. That's what it seems like to me. We've been doing a lot of research on this. We've gone into how some of the same people, BlackRock, JP Morgan, are behind certain cryptos like Ethereum. You know what I mean? We've gone over how Bitcoin, how so many different nations have a lot of Bitcoin, right? I really do see a case where Bitcoin, Ethereum, XLM, XRP can be world reserve currencies, okay? That seems to be a reality. And remember how I've shown you guys this many times. Where's this article? Central banks to set standards on banks' exposure to crypto. Now they write this in a very odd manner, but basically what it says is central banks in 2025, January 1st, 2025, can buy up to 2% reserves in cryptocurrency. So everything that we thought was going to be like hogwash about crypto, like why would central banks ever purchase it? Why, like this crazy asset that has nothing backing it, now all of a sudden looks for real. Like the law is here. It's here. And it's happening in 2025. And recently, I'm not sure if you guys saw, but shout out to the people in our crypto Telegram here. A lot of guys posted it. If you guys want to come in the Telegram and get the news, you can. But the Bitcoin ETFs have been pushed back to 2024. They're not making any decisions on those for until 2024. So it's lining up very, very nicely for crypto. 2024, they make a decision on the Bitcoin ETFs, which they probably put it through because guess what? BlackRock is, I think the stat was 575 approvals to one denial for the ETFs they had. And that one denial was like 10 years ago for something that they shouldn't have been able to do. And why is that the case? Because BlackRock is essentially the president of the United States. No matter who's the president, someone from BlackRock is on the treasury. You guys can go look it up. Biden, Trump, doesn't matter. Okay. And all the Fortune 500 stocks, shout out again to the Telegram. BlackRock has like a chunk of every one of them. Okay. So BlackRock is the US economy. Okay. So this is setting up to be a very, very bullish crypto bull run. Okay. You know, the ETFs approved the beginning of 2024, the Bitcoin halving happening sometime in April or May. And then this year in 2025, oh my goodness. Can you imagine now how much validity that brings to the crypto market with central banks buying it, let alone in 2024 when BlackRock has a Bitcoin ETF? Do you imagine how much for normies, right? For people who are like staunch old-timey stock guys, how much validity that brings to the market, how much institutional money that's going to bring to the market. Man. And now it seems like worldwide this liquidity is needed. This new asset is needed because we're experiencing inflation here in America. That's kind of what that CNN article went into. We don't really need to listen to that or CNN blurb or whatever. There's inflation here in America. There's inflation in Russia, and what we just had there. I think I posted it. Shout out to Jackson Knox. China's not doing well either. So huge, guys. Huge. This should really just make you more bullish on your crypto bags. What this also does is here on BRICS Summit, this puts a big laser on the BRICS Summit that's coming up here in August 22nd. They're really going to need to do something to help out Russia here, right? So this is going to be huge, guys. This is going to be huge. Okay, so we're really going to want to keep our ears out and ready for what's going to happen here on August 22nd at the BRICS Summit. We already know, we've been talking about it, that possibly they'll have a gold-backed currency. But yeah, who knows? Like maybe they have something even relating to like regular cryptos and not just a CBDC. We're really gonna have to keep our eyes out and our eyes open here. Okay. Yeah. So let's get into some of the chat here. What's up, L. Wright Sr.? Good to see you over here, bro. Rob B, it means they peg gold to oil. That's pretty interesting. I know that all these central banks have been grabbing up gold, and I really think you guys know how I kind of feel about, like, I really feel like most everybody is on the same team. Like, and I feel like, okay, if Putin wasn't doing something against, if Putin wasn't on the team, he would just be taken out. Case in point, Muammar Gaddafi, right? Taken out, right? People say that he may have wanted to stray away from the central bank, and all of a sudden he was villainized and unalived, right? So if Putin was really, really, really not on the team, I think he just would be gone, right? This just seems to me like what was supposed to be scripted and happening, right? Again, we see the central bank is still raising rates for Russia, so it's not like Putin's like saying, "Central bank, you'll fix this," right? And telling them like, "Do it right now." No, the central bank's doing what it wants to do. So obviously, Putin's on board, right? But anyways, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. And of course, we know that there are a lot of cryptocurrencies, like case in point, one called Energy Web Token, in which they're looking at backing natural resources or being like a exchange, if you will, for natural resources. So what it's really looking like is crypto, this new asset, is going to bring brand new liquidity to this fiat, this fiat game that's dying. It's dying. It's in trouble, and crypto is going to be the asset that brings liquidity to this dying market. Everything has a lifespan. You know the whole hermetic principles thing, right? Everything has a rhythm. Seems like the rhythm for this market, which was led by the American petrodollar, is coming to an end, and cryptocurrency is coming to its beginning. Okay, that's just what it looks like here. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? That's my opinion on that. And we got emerging type of assets. I don't know if you guys heard the news, but Donald Trump, it's been found out that Donald Trump held like something like nothing for him. It's like something like 250 million in Ethereum. I don't know if that, I believe that was the amount, but just goes to show you like people are understanding the crypto is where we're going here. So here we go. Energy Web Token. If you guys have never heard of this one before, Energy Web Token was launched in 2019. Energy Web Token Foundation is a nonprofit enterprise behind the project. Energy Web Token aims to bring diversity to the energy sector by allowing developers to create apps. Blah 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 blah. Well, basically, what they're trying to do is have people be able to tokenize energy assets. And remember, I was talking about R3's Corda blockchain, that private blockchain. Well, Energy Web Token already has a deal in place with those guys, and that R3 Corda, it's related to all the banking clearinghouses, all the big banking clearinghouses in the world are a part of this private decentralized blockchain, right? And what's the settlement coin for that? The settlement coin for that is XDC, another X token, right? Another ISO 20022 token, right? another token that has connections to the people in Davos, right? All of the breadcrumbs are there, right? And here we go. Some of the biggest banking clearinghouses in the world. DTCC, shout out to Mainly Music for letting us know about this company, right? Credit Suisse, Goldman Sachs, HSBC, SBI, who has a connection to Ripple, right? And we already showed you guys how Edmund D. Rothschild is holding like a good percent stake in SBI and XRP tokens, right? Not in Ripple, the company's private shared stuff, in XRP, okay? Nexi, which used to be SIA, whole Goldman Sachs, whole bunch of guys, whole bunch of banking clearinghouses connected to R3 Corda, I should say, Corda. And Energy Web Token is already together with these guys. So guess what? They'll have the ability to sell oil, to sell different natural resources as if they were on a ledger tokenized. Because remember, BlackRock, what did they say? Tokenization is one of the biggest things coming, right? BlackRock. Touting tokenization, right? BlackRock's touted tokenization for a very, very long time. So is JP Morgan, right? So guess what? Energy tokens like Energy Web Token are going to tokenize assets, not natural resources like oil, okay? Natural gas, things like that. It's all coming together, guys. It's all coming together. Okay, Stephen Wisdom, did the videos explain? This is from like basically yesterday is when the crap hit the fan with the ruble. BRICS nations, they are big into ISO coins. Yes, they are, especially Ripple. They are really big into Ripple. Yeah, man. So it's just amazing, guys. It's just amazing. Everything is really, really, really coming together. And don't get me wrong, I feel sorry for everybody worldwide. Inflation's terrible, right? I feel sorry for the Russian people having to deal with this inflation. It's terrible, right? You saw that man there with his child. Like, it's terrible. But for our market, for what we're looking at here with crypto, this is actually pretty good news for us. Like, fiat's on its last ropes. It is. You can say this has kind of been in motion for the last 2 or 3 or 4 years, right? Russians will use crypto ledger for this. Okay. Yeah, like quite possible they might use XRP. Remember how we said, okay, we know China and Russia are kind of tied at the hip, right? Let's see, Central. We brought it up for you guys. Ripple. Okay, here we go. So this is actually the best tie-in right here, actually. So Ripple basically created here, the article will make it clear. Ripple starts platform for central banks to issue their CBDCs. Okay, so Then they say the firm will showcase a real estate tokenization. Again, here we go. A real estate tokenization product as a part of Hong Kong Monetary Authority. Again, and what happened this year with Hong Kong? They finally made it so that their people could purchase crypto. Okay, that law hit June 1st, I believe it was, right? So, Hong Kong's pretty tied into the Chinese, and the Chinese and the Russians are kind of locked at the hip, right? What did China, I think China and Russia signed a deal where they would no longer use the US dollars in trade. Brazil also signed the same deal. So you can see right here, a BRICS nation, China, having a connection to Ripple. Okay. And it goes into what Rob was saying there. This platform is an enhanced version of Ripple's private ledger. Okay. So this is basically using the XRP ledger for CBDCs. Okay. So Ripple will show the use of its platform under the HKD pilot, a program run by Hong Kong Monetary Authority, de facto central bank. Again, central bank. Here we go, right? It is also working with Taiwan. Where we go here? It's also working with Taiwan's Fubon Bank to build a product for real estate and asset tokenization and equity distribution under the pilot. And we're hearing all this stuff with like Taiwan and the US, whatever. Okay, whatever. Central banks are up here working together. Taiwan and Hong Kong Central Bank are working with Ripple. Ho hum, right? It's right there. It's right there. So again, these ISO coins are playing a heavy role. Let me see if I can bring up. Here we go. Here it is. These ISO coins are playing a heavy role. Let me see how we're doing over here. Good. I might have to close some of these windows here. Okay, let me close this one. Let me close. I'll keep that one up. Close this one. Close this one. And we'll close that one. Okay. So these ISO coins are playing a huge role here. How many did we just mention? We just mentioned scroll down here. We didn't mention Quant yet, but Quant's another one. We just mentioned Ripple. And what just happened this week, right? HBAR, they just made a deal with FedNow through a company called, I believe it's called Drop. Shout out to the patrons. We got that information. And shout out to my guy, CPW. He shared some information about Drop in our chat, in our Telegram. So here we are. HBAR is working with FedNow. And FedNow was billed as like against Ripple, right? It's just another piece. It's just another tool, right? So we got HBAR in the mix. We got XRP in the mix. We just mentioned how XDC, right? XDC is the settlement coin for this R3 Cordia, right? All of it's coming into place with these guys. Algorand, we know Algorand has some deal with, I believe it is Central Bank of Italy. Cardano, we haven't mentioned them that much. But yeah, for sure, at least the X coins. XLM is going to do they're going to do the CBDC for the Ukraine. They also have deals in place with Coinbase, right? And MoneyGram. Okay. So at least these X coins, XLM, XRP, XDC, and HBAR, right? Huge for at least those. And we could probably throw Quant in the mix too. Quant's always very secretive, but Quant has their stuff going on too, right? Oh, CNN, that's credible. Oh wow, sorry about that. Okay, I got it. Sorry about that. Thank you for recognizing that. CNN is not not helpful. While that supermarket looks full, was not expecting that. Yeah, it's interesting. It's pretty interesting. I'll put a link to that in the chat. And shout out to my guy Brunswick for sending that to me. Shout out Brunswick. I'll put a link when I'm done here. I'll put a link to that in the chat. And you guys can go look at some of the stuff he was talking about. Yeah, that supermarket was pretty full. It looked like their version of like a Walmart or whatever. And it does look like, as far as like for $1, food was just
Russia's economy is on the brink of disaster.
Food was very, 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 very cheap. So shout out to the people of Russia. It's a sad thing to see. It's a sad thing to see. But yeah, I'll put that link in our free chat, our free Telegram, and anybody who wants to look at it, they can. Yeah, definitely hit the like, guys. 30 people. That's a pretty high amount for my show. So I definitely appreciate you guys coming out. Bitcoin Shango, what's up? Presidents are individuals. They're nothing without their parties. Their parties are nothing without their donor and sponsors. BlackRock owns all of them. 100%. Like, these central banks own everything, basically. So it's really funny to kind of see the presidents in my view are frontmen in my opinion. Just like Sammy Bankman-Fried is a frontman for FTX. Hey, just frontman in my opinion. There. Presidential elections means nothing to anyone not making multi-billion incomes. For the rest of us, city, country, state, mayor, governor, Northern elections are what we should foam at the mouth over. Well, like, man, I got some whole Rokfin talk for that. We'll have to have a show on Rokfin. Like, we'll have to have a show on Rokfin. I want to say so much, but I'm gonna hold back. Mining till I'm shining. I feel you. BRICS definitely needs a new system now. Gaddafi. Yep. They took that guy right out for doing what? Trying to get off the central bank system. So if Putin was really so against the US or whatever like that, he would be out of there. But that's not what's happening, right? So I can only, in my opinion, I assume that he's just, it's just a little, he's playing his part. And I mean it just like that. He's playing his part. Look at states' incentives for mining crypto. And like, remember, as a country, Bhutan, we didn't even know they were mining Bitcoin. Only reason we found out is because they extended their operation with a publicly traded company. So they had to kind of tell us. They've just been mining Bitcoin since it was like $5,000 with hydropower. So it was green Bitcoin at that, or clean Bitcoin, if you will. Bhutan has been mining Bitcoin with hydropower since Bitcoin was $5,000. What does that tell you, bro? What does that tell you? To me, it just says, okay, it rings that Bitcoin is possibly a world reserve currency. And they're just getting a jump on it. They're getting a jump on getting it right now. Right? That's what it says to me. That's what it says to me. Like, they must know something's going on for Bitcoin in the future. So they're hopping on mining it. Okay. Now, who knows? They could be buying gold too, right? But they mined Bitcoin. If Bitcoin was something, sorry guys, there's nothing I can do about this. It's an emergency alert. Bhutan, yeah. So, right, if Bitcoin was worthless, they would not have spent their time mining it. Okay, right? And then an actual power, right? So, yeah, bro. Why XLM dumping on MoneyGram News? Well, I Jay Riggs, we gone over this a little bit, and shout out to Waters Above. I really love his channel. He gets into kind of the gematria of crypto a lot. So you see these, like the colors are actually off. I should change those. But so you see these colors. I thought I changed them, and for some reason it doesn't look like it changed on this version. Okay, so you see those? Yeah. New moon. Okay, new moons are this one right here. Okay, so new moons, every time we have a new moon, is generally a time where Bitcoin's doing a little dipsy doodle. Okay. Oh, let me. So generally with the new moons, that's when Bitcoin tends to have a little dip. For whatever reason, Bitcoin tends to be bullish around the full moons. So you see the full moon here, full moon, boom. New moon, wait. Full moon, boom. New moon, it's kind of blending in here, so you can't really see it. New moon, bearish, right? Full moon, bullish. New moon, bearish. Full moon, bullish. It just happens to be how Bitcoin moves. It moves with moon cycles. The same is true with eclipses and things like that as well. So right now we got that new moon energy. So we got a little dip. That's just how things tend to move. Okay. On Bitcoin. Excuse me. Here's Bitcoin. So now it will be even more clear because I got the right chart. So new moon drop. Full moon bullish. New moon drop. New moon drop. full moon. It's just how it works for Bitcoin. And that same type of energy tends to carry over to the rest of the market because the rest of the market moves with Bitcoin. I thought I had XLM up here. Well, we have Algo, right? Algo, a drop. Like everything's dropped right now. Algo drop. Jasmine drop. XLM drop. That's just how it works, man. With that new moon energy. Russia may be the first G7 to fall. Maybe, bro. Maybe. It's just DApp, not DApp. Okay. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. G20. Okay. Yeah. I know what you mean. Russia's the G20. Turkey, China, Germany. Also, okay, you got some comments on the gentleman in crypto side too. I did not realize it didn't give me both comments. Let me go ahead and bring up the gentleman in crypto side. So I could have sworn before it gave me both comments. My bad, y'all. Let me go over there and grab them. I checked this once before and it did give me both comments, but I guess some days it doesn't, man. This is weird. So let me kill it so it doesn't echo. Come on, trying to kill it here. There we go. All righty. Okay, got you. Okay, no problem, no worries. What's up, Shook Focus? Yeah, bro, I gotta go to Rokfin or some like my opinion of politics, bro. I don't know that it's for it's a Rokfin conversation. Russia is not doing bad. Russia is lowering their currency value purposely to sell their grain and resources for cheap to underprice the competition. Clyde Lewis, I am not sure. I'm not sure about that. This is why I got the opinion. This guy. This is why I got like 3 different videos because I was really concerned because you never know, right? You never know like how they're gonna slant the news. That's why I got this Russian dude himself to tell us, okay, what's happening over there. Okay. Now, surely this is just one Russian man. There could be, some people who have a different opinion, but from what he says, it's going to make things harder for Russians, which makes sense, right? But again, it all depends on what's going to happen here with this BRICS Nation summit. Maybe the BRICS Nation summit makes everything okay. So to me, this puts even more of an emphasis on the BRICS Nation summit, because maybe whatever they do there gets things right back kind of in line. But for right now, from the 4 different news people that we went through, one of which being CNN and another being a boots on the ground Russian person, it seems as though it's bad for them. Yeah, Jackson corrected that. It's G20. Oh my God, Riviera Group. You're gonna put some Russian up there, bro. Ivan Drago from Rocky. I'm gonna say, oh, dude, I don't even know what to do with that. Google Translate, right? I wonder if I could just. It'd be cool if it just said I could just translate it right there. That would be awesome. Yes, Turkey in bad shape, really bad inflation. Okay. Yeah, worldwide, bro. Worldwide. What's up, Crypt Work? What's up, Mainly Music? I just got through referencing you, guy. We were talking about um R3 Cordia and DTCC. What's up, bro? Riviera Group's keeping me on my toes over here with this Russian. Jasmine hurt me when it drops. When it drops hard. Man, I'm trying to pick up a lot of Jasmine, bro. Like, shout out to my guy Max. My Crypto Talk Now does some of the greatest Jasmine content. Be sure to go check those guys out at My Crypto Talk Now. Yeah. Max said his goal is 3 million Jasmine. Like, my goal might honestly be 1 million. If I could get 1 million Jasmine, I'd be happy. But I'm not there yet. So right now, 1 million Jasmine would be. Let's go check its price. 1 million would be about. $3,600. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm looking for that 1 million Jasmine. That would be very nice for me. We already know that Binance Japan is probably gonna pick themselves up some Jasmine. We already know, like from watching Max's videos, they got former Sony execs for Jasmine on their board. The Jasmine data locker is probably going to be a huge Internet of Things thing for a lot of things in Japan. So I'm really bullish on Jasmine, bro. I'm really bullish. And today when it dropped to like in the 4.3s, I picked up some more. And I'm probably gonna pick up some more come payday, bro. To be honest, very very bullish on Jasmine. Oh, no worries, no worries. Bitcoin Shango. Yeah, I was giving you both comments. YouTube hating on you. I cannot be defeated. I defeat all men. Soon I defeat real champion Ivan Drago. Okay, I got you. I got you. Thanks for coming through, Louis Quinn. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. David Dela. I don't know. I don't know. I could have totally messed that up. Thought you were gonna say you're talking about me because all I talk about is Hedera and it's been going well. Does anyone hodl anymore, or do people just buy and sell all the time? Well, personally, y'all, I'm hodling. I'll probably be looking to get out sometime in 2026 because if we kind of just look at what happened last time, and always these markets kind of every time we hit this new bull run, right? There's adjustments to be made. So who knows what type of adjustments are going to need to be made this time? But what it's looked like is let's see. Alerts. Let's get them out of here. It's always kind of, can we squish this a little bit more? No. There's like 2 bullish years and 2 bearish years. So here, the bull run before the last one, you can see this one bullish side, and then you got the halving top, right? And after the halving top, you got the kind of bearish times, right? And then you have the kind of ramp up, the little ramp up area to go back into the next halving, right? So bullish time, bearish time, ramping up time. And this is kind of like a Wyckoff stuff, right? Like this kind of looks textbook Wyckoff if you look like up the Wyckoff chart or whatever. So we got the bullish years into the halving top, the bearish time, and then the ramp up to the next halving, right? Looking just eerily similar to kind of what was going on over here. But we had kind of 2 little humps, lovely lady lumps over here, right? So almost like a year, half to 2 years of bullish time, like a year and change of bearish time, and the ramp up time to the next halving. And then this next halving, maybe we have bullish time for like 2 years again to like 2026. And then maybe it'll be time to get out. But one of the things that we can look at here, right, for what we need to look at to kind of on when to get out. Let's go on this like week chart. I want to point out some stuff to you guys. So what we can see here, especially on the week chart, is when things were oversold, like that was way oversold. But like when things were oversold, that's kind of when we got the max Bitcoin tops, right? So when things are kind of oversold on a week, that might be the time that you'll be looking to kind of get out. You can see we're kind of high up right now. So maybe we do get that little bearish time come October when the eclipse happens, right? There's an eclipse happening sometime in October, right? But we are pretty kind of on the week. We are kind of high up here. But if you come over here and look again at the Wyckoff, looks like we're due to kind of come up outy, right? Remember how I explained this to you guys before, like anything down towards the end part, the end rounding part of a red is when we're going to come kind of back up. And then from the top of the green down is another bearish time. So it looks like we're due to come back up off of this guy a little bit. But if we look here at the RSI, it kind of maybe lends us to one more little pullback before we head into the halving. Like if we look here at the previous halving, there was a little pullback. Now, I don't know if we can count that because that was Rona, but there was a little pullback before we went bullish. But again, that was Rona, so it's kind of hard to call it there. But yeah, just I wanted to point this out for more of the fact of, okay, when we get over here towards the 2025s and 2026s, the time that we might want to start taking profits is when we hit oversold, or excuse me, overbought on the RSI. That might be a time where we're thinking about, okay, maybe it's time to just take some profits, right? Yeah, I think something to Japan's Bitcoin could strike for them first. I'm also buying Trump/Bitcoin 2024. What's up, Honda? CNN, Amazon, and eBay have the best ledgers. It'll depend on how crypto friendly the next administration is. DeSantis is crypto friendly. If he ends up winning, well, some people were saying that it's quite possible that RFK Jr. and Trump have their own ticket, which would be pretty interesting to see. No problem, Honda. What's going on, man? Which would be pretty interesting to see. Because then Trump gets kind of the Bitcoin people, and people are already pissed off that Biden's like all this inflation has happened under Biden anyway. So that would be a pretty crafty move by him if he just grabbed RFK as a VP. That would kind of maybe take the wind from underneath DeSantis's wings, if you will, there. But be pretty interesting. Either way, I really think the way crypto is going right now, I really think it's on that can't be stopped wheel right now. On that can't be stopped wheel right now. So I know I said we weren't going to watch the CNN one, but now that we have a little bit of time there, and if anybody has any more questions, if you guys can bring those up. I just want to play the end of that CNN article or video because there are some things that are happening at the end of that seem to be relevant, but we'll do it on like really fast speed so it doesn't take too much time here. Okay. It's taking a little bit to come up here. Oh, did I close it by mistake? We'll bring it back though. There we go.
A blow to Putin.
So we heard the beginning part, so I'll start towards the part we didn't hear.
A month ago. How worried are you about this, Secretary?
Well, we've seen some increase, partly because of the summer driving season and global factors, but gas prices are down off their highs over $1.20. So, of course, this is an area of uncertainty, but we're certainly well off the highs. And more broadly, inflation has come way down, something that's been a tremendous concern to Americans. Over the last 3 months, inflation, both headline and core, has been running just around 2%. So I think the inflation news has been overall excellent. While there are still risks.
I don't know what the heck she almost. Woo, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. Inflation is still pretty high. but let's keep
We've
going.
got a good, strong labor market with unemployment at a 50-year low of 3.5%, and the economy continues to grow.
So, as you point out, the rate of inflation has been plunging. It's a fair point, right? Last month, consumer prices were up 3.2% compared to July of last year. A year ago, when you looked at the same thing, July to July, prices were up 8.5%. So obviously, it is a huge improvement, as you say. But the direction is still a green arrow, right? According to Moody's, the typical household spent $202 more last month on the same goods and services than it did a year ago, $709 more than 2 years.
So I'm glad they at least pointed this out, that even though they said that, like, oh, it's going down, that it's still high as ASF, right?
2 years ago. So the rate of inflation has plunged, but prices are still going up. And these are huge numbers for American families. It's real hardship. What do you say to those families? Can you tell them that prices will actually go down?
So I don't want to say that the level of prices will go down, but I think inflation will subside to rates that are quite normal and within the range that the Fed is seeking to target. President Biden has worked with Congress and within the administration.
Again, the Fed, central bank,
Administration to do what we can to lower prices and give Americans relief. The Inflation Reduction Act had many features to do that, including cuts in health insurance premiums, in drug prices. The cost of insulin was capped at $35 a month. And, we're working oil releases last year from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, I think made a big difference to the gas prices people had to pay. But inflation remains a problem that we're focused on.
And on that front, the economy is by far the top issue for Americans in this election. The latest CNN poll, Secretary Yellen, shows that 75% of Americans believe the economy is in poor condition. And maybe that's because, again, even though inflation rates have come down, they are still paying more. 63% of people in this poll disapprove of how President Biden is handling the economy. What do you say, Secretary Yellen, to the clear majority of Americans who simply do not believe that the administration is helping them?
Well, Americans know best, I think, about their own personal finances. And it is important to recognize that when they're asked, how are they personally doing, over 70% of Americans say that they're very comfortable with their financial situation. So they.
I'm not sure who they're polling, but I bet you if I were to go ask like 70% Americans, not around this area, but if I were to just go to like Phoenix and ask like 70% Americans like how they feel about the economy right now, no, they would not. No way they would be okay with that, the way the economy is right now.
Seem to perceive the economy as a whole as doing less well than they are personally. But most Americans feel good about their own economic situation. And of course, I'm here in Nevada today to talk to people about President Biden's economic plan. Over the last year, real wages have been rising in almost all sectors of the economy. And the biggest gains have gone to low-income workers who have seen a significant reduction in inequality.
As I mentioned a few moments ago, Ruble hit a 17-month low against the U.S. dollar. 1 penny is an entire ruble. That news ticker in the small town of Surgut calling Putin out. Who knows what happened, whether it was hacked into or not. But there it was in Siberia, 100 rubles to $1. Mine. Putin is an expletive thief. Now, Secretary, you have repeatedly said Putin's invasion of Ukraine is a big economic negative for the world. And here we are, nearly a year and a half into
the whole game of that. Oh, Putin's a thief. The whole theater narrative. To me, it's a game. I hope that I'm not. This is my opinion, okay? If Putin was really this guy that was completely against America like this, or he was messing up the central bank's plan, he would be taken out. He would be unalived. Period. Point blank. The end. And we know that because of what happened. We referenced here, Muammar Gaddafi. Gaddafi went against the whole central bank plan, gone, okay? And some say that might have been a reason why Kennedy was out of here, because he made a law that's still in existence, but no president ever uses it, to back fiat by silver. Nobody ever uses it, right? But guess what? That goes against the central bank. My man's is out of here, right? Let's keep going.
How much impact do you think it is having now on Americans?
Well, it continues to have impact on Americans beyond the money that we're spending to support Ukraine. The cutoff of Ukrainian grain from Russia's decision to end the Baltic Grain Initiative is pushing up food prices with the biggest toll in the poorest countries of the world, and it continues to have some impact on gas prices. But as you mentioned, the ruble.
I want to say something political here. It's not a political show, but the fact that like we're having this crisis here in Hawaii, and from what I heard, so, like those guys only got like $700 or something like that, and we're sending all this money over to the Ukraine. I don't know. It just feels like kind of doesn't feel like we're helping Americans, right? But again, who knows what's going on over there as far as like what's happening to the Ukrainian people. To me, it always seems like the people, no matter like what's happening or if it's happening, it always seems to be that the people suffer, like the Ukrainian people, the Russian people, and the governments that are ran by the central banks are fine. That's my opinion on that.
Has declined in value, which is a reflection of the fact that our program of sanctions with our allies and the war is causing a drain on the Russian economy.
Secretary, I want to ask you one more thing. You recently were in China. You ate dinner at a restaurant chain called In-N-Out, and I should say to Americans not to be confused with the burger joint. I see you smiling.
Oh, so she's in China, the same China that's supposedly, working hand in hand with the Russians, right? And she's kind of buddy over there in China, and
You set off a frenzy because you ordered a mushroom dish that contains apparently what are considered magic mushrooms that can be hallucinogenic. And so now these wild mushroom dishes are selling out at that restaurant's branches across China. You have sparked all this. May I ask you, I'm just quite curious,
Apparently so.
What was it like, the mushroom experience?
So I went with this large group of people, and the person who had arranged our dinner did the ordering. There was a delicious mushroom dish. I was not aware that these mushrooms had hallucinogenic properties. I learned that later. I can tell you.
Later, like when you were sleeping and having visions, or?
I read that if the mushrooms are cooked properly, which I'm sure they were at this very good restaurant, that they have no impact. But all of us enjoyed the mushrooms, the restaurant, and
Yellen was over there getting Yellen was over there getting right with those mushrooms, boy. Okay, I see you yelling. You're laughing. Sure. Yeah. She's getting right with those mushrooms, huh? But anyways, let me see if we got any more questions here. She's those mushrooms last, huh? Honda, bro. Yeah, she's up here. She's talking bland the whole time. Started talking about those magic mushrooms. She really brightened up, didn't she? Oh yeah. Y'all was over there getting just getting right, bro. Oh, it's pretty funny. Same as Trudeau. We call him just inflation. I like that. Just inflation. I like that. Certain people call him Justin Castro, but that's another conversation, right? Whatever CNN says, I believe the opposites. Canadians are learning 100%. Okay. Oh, is that the magic mushroom liberal lady? She's nuts, my brother. More than 63. Yeah, she's over there getting right, boy. Getting a little magic mushroom type of deal going on, boy. It's hilarious. Yeah, most Americans in government more like pull straight out of here. MLK was killed talking about money. It's easy to sign paper and let a human eat somewhere, but when they started talking about wages, yeah, man, it's like, yeah, bro, it's something, bro. Everything is political. All's good. She's high. She's high AF. The magic mushrooms. Right. Okay. I get on to hey, they found in the White House, so they claim they don't know who brought it in. We know who brought it in. It's Hunter, bro. Hunter brought that in. Uh, but yeah, guys, great show today. Thank you guys all for coming. Um, feel free to go ahead and join the Telegram. I'll be around in the Telegram. Thank you guys so much. I love the active show. I love the active chat. For you who made it around to the end, you guys are some G's. I really appreciate it. For anybody watching the recording, feel free to join the Telegram as well. I'm out, guys. Peace.